Hello everyone, Cheek here with another Transformers review, and today I'll be reviewing the Warbot Brawl. And here he is in his robot mode. And let's take a quick look with him with his accessories. As you can see, two of them are for his tank mode. Pretty much just the turret of the tank, and then of course the gun that also says it's supposed to go with Swindle. Now, personally, it's a personal preference, especially after something that happened on this. This is his rifle, but first off, let's just go ahead and have him hold his rifle. But to do that, you can't really have to have his shoulder up, but just go ahead and put it in there, and there. He has a big old rifle, and then this is supposed to be a shield that goes over, clips over his tread, but for whatever reason, well, there it goes. Well, at least this time, this is one of the rare times that actually cooperates on camera and not the other way around. Okay, so yeah, it's supposed to be a shield and that's supposed to be a rifle. So, I'll tell you something that you might want to be careful of. I don't know if it's just unique to mine, but something did happen that kind of freaked me out a little bit on this. It's not to the point to where it is completely useless or whatever, but I do have to be extra careful now, because see how that came off? It broke like immediately. Like, as you can see, like, it's supposed to rotate up. So originally this is in tank for tank configuration, and then you just flip down and rotate around. But this one, for whatever reason, as soon as I did this, it just popped off completely. Like, it didn't go all the way down. It's just like poop, and then it popped off. So it will stay on there, mostly just due to friction, but it's possible that I may just decide to glue it as a personal preference, because he does have another little handgun that you can use as well, or any of the other guns. There's a couple other guns that I don't believe have been assigned yet, but I'll figure them out pretty much shortly. But to get this back into tank configuration, tank turret, you just go ahead and plug this back in. You'll see that there's little plug goes into this hole. Slide back just a little bit, come on, so that it will plug in. And it's a very stiff plug. It does not, and that also is liable to pop off, because like I said, it is broken. But you just squeeze that in, and it goes most of the way in. And then let's see if I can get this to go back on without having to take it off and then put it back on. Okay, yeah, it will go back on there, but then that means it could also possibly fall out due to friction. I don't think that's very likely when it is in the turret configuration. Anyway, you can flip that down if you wanted to, because it is kind of for the for combined mode, where it goes like this. But you could also have it like this. But personally, what I would like to do is have it on his back like so. And you can also have it at an angle if you wish, either side. You can even have it pointing down if you so choose, but I won't guarantee that it's not going to get in the way of any poses or involving his legs, and that just looks kind of goofy, but you could do it. And then another thing you could do if you want to shorten it, I don't know if it will prevent this from going on, but it'll still go on, and it's just not as long, and it looks more traditional, or more like the normal length that his barrel's. If he'll stand up, if he'll cooperate, his barrel is supposed to be in the original figure, I think, or at least in the cartoons. It didn't stick out way out here, which it would otherwise. Yeah, I mean, it doesn't look bad, but as you can see, it is out of the frame. It's pretty long. But if you have it like this, it's more manageable, and it still doesn't look bad. It actually looks kind of cool, I think. And then you can just give him a little handgun. Kind of funny, giving a big old guy a tiny little handgun, but I think that's kind of funny. Anyway, let's go ahead and take a look at his noggin. As you can see, it's pretty plain, but orange eyes, orange visor, light piping looks pretty cool. Silver for the faceplate, silver for his forehead crest, and then pretty much gunmetal gray for the rest. It can do a full 360, although it does get in the way of this. If you decide to have this up here, you can look up about that far, you can look down just a little bit, and he does get a little bit wiggly waggly. And then his arms, they can go out about that far, but then his treads have to get in the way of hitting his face or the tank. tank out turret. You can, and then just to take it off, just to show his other articulation, because he also doesn't look half bad without it either. It's just he doesn't look as, tanky. But with getting his face out of the way, he can go up that far. Put his face back down. Rotate full 360. Bicep swivel, nice and stiff. You can do just a little under 90 degrees bend at the elbow, a little bit back the other way. Wrist swivel, and his hands do open and close. And then he also has waist swivel. Legs can go forward that far, back that far. Knees over 90 degree at the knee because transformation. And he also does have the panels on the back for filling in. He does have some ankle tiltage, but based on the way this all is, it does make me feel like it's a little bit flimsy, and of course, don't use excess force, and you should be fine. And then, of course, there's toes like that, but that's also more for transformation. And that's pretty... Oh, yeah, one last thing. I know it's always goofy, and yes, he can do the full splits, but he does have to struggle a little bit. But yes, Brawl can do the full splits. Now let's go ahead and get him back up to the standing position. And, well, let's get ready to transform him. Okay, so first things first. Just go ahead and collapse his arms, giving him little stubby arms. And Brawl has kind of always been one of my favorite figures. I don't know why, I just liked his aesthetic. But, come on, let's go ahead and pop this up. Rotate his head back, and then you just want to kind of rotate everything down, get it lined up, and then rotate up, and then this kind of goes back because that's where you're going to end up putting his treads for the tank, of course. And his hands, they don't flip in because they do get hidden. You flip up these panels right here, close up his feet, and then what's a little interesting about him is that you actually rotate them all the way around, like that. Bend his knees, fold down his feet, rotate around, and then turn this around like so. Yeah, make sure that these are up as well. Then you bend it the rest of the way, and get just finagle it to get his hands in there. Finagle, get his hands in there, and then you want to clip his or tab his legs together. And then you also put his feet down like that, and then just get everything all straightened up because he isn't quite tabbing 100% into place, but oh well, there. And then you tab that back down, and then his arm treads you just slide into here like so. Rotate, slide into there. Just get them pushed all the way in, and then you pretty much got a tank without the turret, and then you just flip out the barrel and then stick said barrel on here, and then you can rotate this around, but you might want to lift that up a little bit, but you do get some rotation. You can't exactly get full 360 rotation, although it is possible, I think, maybe, just depending on how you do it, but I haven't quite managed it yet. But you get a satisfactory amount of rotation, and then this is also like a manhole cover to get in there, and it also doubles as a sight for the rifle, which I did fail to mention earlier, but oh well, that's not a huge big deal. And then he has a bunch of ports on here for guns to go into, so you can plug them in practically anywhere. And there is something that I did notice earlier, but I need to remedy right now, is he does have some gaps that need to be filled. Pretty much, well, it's good to see this on camera anyway, so if anyone else gets him, they can see how to do this as well. So you just plug it in, plug it up, plug it up, and then plug it up, and make sure that you line it up with the corner, circular part, and then just push it in as far as it will go, like about like that. And then same on this side, Just push it in. There we go. And I think there might be one panel that's post on swindle that I might have missed earlier, but I'll remedy that at a later date. But there we go. So here we have Brawl in his tank mode, and he does look, well, very militaristic and like a nice tank. Fairly sleek. Got some boosters back here. And he doesn't have any rolly wheels, but then again, I doubt they're expecting people that collect third-party stuff to really be rolling their stuff around. They probably just pretty much expect them to hold it, stay in place. But overall, good figure. Wish they had maybe paid a little bit better attention to make sure that, hey, that there's enough clearance for this, that it's been shaved down enough so it doesn't pop off when someone tries to move it. But other than that, so far I haven't really had any issues with this set. But if you like this review and you'd like to see more, please click that like and subscribe button to see more. And until next time, have a good one, everyone.